Understanding Bisexuality, The Full Spectrum of Love and Identity LBGT Series Part 11. Bisexuality is one of the most commonly misunderstood and misrepresented identities within the LGBTQ+ community. Despite being widely recognized in modern conversations about sexuality, the actual meaning and lived experience of being bisexual is often clouded by myths, misconceptions, and erasure. To understand bisexuality is to open up a window into the diversity of human attraction, and to challenge the binary thinking that often limits how we see love, identity, and connection. Definition of bisexuality. At its core, bisexuality refers to the capacity to feel romantic and/or sexual attraction to more than one gender. This doesn't necessarily mean that a bisexual person is attracted to men and women equally or at the same time. The attraction may vary in intensity, frequency, or over time. Some bisexual people might be more frequently attracted to one gender, while others might experience shifts in their preferences across different life stages. The defining characteristic is that the attraction extends beyond a single gender. A widely accepted definition by bisexual activist Robin Oakes frames it beautifully. I call myself bisexual because I acknowledge that I have in myself the potential to be attracted, romantically and/or sexually, to people of more than one sex and/or gender, not necessarily at the same time, not necessarily in the same way, and not necessarily to the same degree. This inclusive definition moves away from rigid binaries and reflects the lived realities of many bisexual individuals. It centers personal experience over simplistic labels and recognizes that bisexuality is as much about possibility as it is about preference. Breaking down the word. The prefix bi in bisexual has led many to assume it means attraction only to two genders, typically men and women. However, in modern understandings, especially among queer theorists and LGBTQ+ activists, bisexuality is increasingly seen as attraction to more than one gender, not strictly limited to a binary. This clarification is essential in a world where gender itself is understood as a spectrum, including identities such as non-binary, genderqueer, agender, and more. Many bisexual people are attracted not only to cisgender men and women but also to people who exist outside the gender binary altogether. Bisexuality versus pansexuality. A common point of confusion arises when people try to differentiate between bisexuality and pansexuality. While definitions can overlap, and some individuals may feel comfortable using both labels interchangeably, here are some nuanced distinctions. Bisexuality generally means attraction to more than one gender. Pansexuality usually refers to attraction to people regardless of their gender, meaning gender doesn't play a determining role in their attraction. But even this distinction isn't always clear-cut. Some bisexual people feel their attraction is not limited or defined by gender either. Ultimately, identity is personal. What matters most is how someone chooses to define and describe themselves. Common myths about bisexuality. Understanding bisexuality also requires unlearning many of the myths and stereotypes that surround it. Bisexual people are just confused. This myth invalidates bisexual identity and implies that bisexuality is a transitional phase. In reality, bisexuality is a valid, enduring sexual orientation. Bisexual people are promiscuous or greedy. This harmful stereotype sexualizes bisexuality and equates attraction to multiple genders with an inability to commit. Being bisexual has nothing to do with promiscuity or moral character. Bisexual people are half gay, half straight. Bisexuality is not a split identity. A bisexual person is fully bisexual, not divided into parts. Their identity is whole and complex. Bisexuality only exists if someone is dating both a man and a woman. Bisexuality is about attraction, not behavior. A bisexual person may be single, celibate, or in a monogamous relationship and still be bisexual. Bisexuality disappears in same-gender or different-gender relationships. This is known as bi-erasure. A bisexual person doesn't stop being bisexual based on who they are dating. Identity is internal, not defined by external relationships. Bisexual erasure and invisibility. Despite making up a large portion of the LGBTQ+ population, bisexual people often face erasure, both within and outside queer spaces. In media, bisexual characters are frequently portrayed as either really gay or just experimenting. Rarely are they depicted with the complexity and respect they deserve. This erasure can have serious consequences. Studies show that bisexual individuals experience higher rates of mental health challenges, such as anxiety and depression, often due to stigma, isolation, and lack of visibility. They also face discrimination from both heterosexual and homosexual communities, which can compound feelings of exclusion. It's important to create spaces where bisexual people can share their stories, affirm their identities, and feel recognized, not as a phase or a stepping stone, but as people with valid, real orientations. The fluidity of attraction. One powerful aspect of bisexuality is the fluid nature of attraction. For some bisexual people, their experiences may evolve over time. They might feel more connected to one gender for a while, then shift naturally without pressure or explanation. This fluidity is not confusion, it's a beautiful and natural expression of human desire and connection. Sexual fluidity is not exclusive to bisexuality, but it's often more visible in bisexual narratives. Society tends to feel more comfortable with either/or categories, but bisexuality challenges those norms and expands our understanding of what love and attraction can be. Coming out as bisexual. Coming out as bisexual can be uniquely challenging. Because of the persistent myths and erasure, many bisexual individuals struggle with feeling queer enough or worry that others won't take their identity seriously. Some fear rejection from straight communities, while others worry about acceptance in queer spaces. That dual pressure can make coming out feel even more vulnerable. However, bisexuality is real, valid, and beautiful, regardless of how others respond. Choosing to come out is deeply personal, and there is no right or wrong way to do it. What matters is that the person feels safe, affirmed, and seen. Celebrating bisexual pride. Bisexual Awareness Week, also known as Bi Week, and Bisexual Visibility Day, September 23rd, are opportunities to honor bisexual history, culture, and resilience. These moments allow the community and allies to elevate by voices, stories, and art, and to dismantle the misconceptions that have lingered for far too long. It's also important to highlight the diversity within the bisexual community. Bisexual people come from all walks of life, across races, ages, genders, cultures, religions, and experiences. Their voices enrich the tapestry of queer identity and challenge us to think beyond the narrow boxes of tradition. Why understanding bisexuality matters. Understanding bisexuality helps build a more inclusive world, one where people are free to express who they are without fear, judgment, or shame. When we embrace the truth about bisexuality, we affirm the identities of millions of people who may feel unseen. We break down harmful binaries that limit human connection. We create spaces where love is not defined by gender, but by authenticity, respect, and joy. Bisexual people are everywhere, in our families, schools, workplaces, and communities. Their experiences are valid, their stories are powerful, and their presence matters. Bisexuality is a legitimate and beautiful identity defined by attraction to more than one gender. It is not confusion, not a phase, not indecision, but a full and rich expression of who someone is. It challenges binaries, embraces fluidity, and exists in countless forms and variations. To understand bisexuality is to widen your lens on human love and expression. And in doing so, we take one more step toward a world that truly honors the full spectrum of identity. If you're bisexual, questioning, or exploring your sexuality, know this: you are not alone. Your feelings are valid. Your identity is yours to define. And your existence is a vital thread in the greater LGBTQ+ tapestry. Let us build a world where bisexual voices are not only heard but celebrated. Where love, in all its forms, is honored. And where everyone, no matter who they are or who they love, is free to be.